Yo, what's up guys? When it comes to getting stronger in WoW Legion Remix, there is one thing to focus on above everything else, and you need to get on this as fast as possible. Now, we want to farm bronze and get all the new items, and we want to farm, infinite power and level up our artifact weapon, but there's one thing to do first, and that is this here, infinite knowledge. And it's easy to miss this, it's easy to not see how important this is and not know how to farm it. So I want to talk about it now, give you some, step-by-step guides on how to get as much of this as possible. I'm working on this right now as well, so let's go through it. What is infinite knowledge? You can read it there. It says, if you go into your character and you go into this tab here, you can see, if you hover over, it says, essence of knowledge drawn from another timeline. Infinite knowledge increases the amount of infinite power gained from most sources. Infinite knowledge gained beyond its limit is automatically turned into bronze. So what does that mean? The more infinite knowledge we have, the more infinite power we will gain from anything we're doing. So this is going to work like a multiplier for any knowledge you get elsewhere. So before you start hard farming any other pieces of content, it's really good to make sure you have a good amount of this to set your character up for that first. And as we go through this and we look at all the different sources of this and how to farm it, one thing to be aware of is it is time gated by the content release cycle. So as we get the new raids, dungeons, Argus, all the new zones, all that sort of stuff, as we get this new content, there will be new sources of infinite knowledge in that new content. Do the new raid, do the new zone, do the new rep. So that's something to be aware of, but we can get a good amount of this right now. So, okay, and the best way to track this is literally just in your achievements. If you open your achievements and you click on Legion Remix on the left side, you will be able to see the Legion Remix achievements, and some of them will be flagged here, +1 infinite knowledge. And this is what you're looking for to try and hit as fast as possible. So you can also search in the search bar infinite knowledge, and that will bring up the ones that you can, grind out. So what to focus on first? Here are the ones I would be looking at as ones that you can just go and tick off really quickly, regardless of where you are in the game. So first up, the dungeons. Each dungeon that releases now and in future will have infinite knowledge tied to it. You can see here, they are the ones that are out right now are tied into 3 different achievements. So you have Legion dungeons, might, power, and threats. So if we go to the first one, there are these 3 dungeons here: Vault of the Warden, Black Rook Hold, and Assault on the Violent Hold. And if you complete any of these on any difficulty, you get 1 infinite knowledge. Similarly, the next section, it's Ivashara, Court of Stars, and the Archway on any difficulty. And then finally, you have Netharian's Lair, Hall of Valor, Maw of Souls, and Dark Heart Thicket on any difficulty. And that's another knowledge. That's 3 knowledge just for completing a bunch of dungeons on a very entry-level difficulty. And then finally on the dungeons, we have this one here, Time Worn Keystone Adept. Complete any Keystone dungeon with a level of 7 or greater with a Time Runner. So any +7 Keystone dungeon. And that sounds very endgame, very challenging. It's not. Because of how strong our characters are in Legion Remix, they don't feel like Mythic Keystones at all. I would say a +7 Mythic Plus is probably as easy as a Heroic Raid, which again, isn't that hard in Legion Remix compared to what you might be used to in retail. So don't feel too put off by that. And doing all those 4 dungeon achievements is 4 infinite knowledge. Okay, next up is quests, and this can net you a total of 6 infinite knowledge. And these are very, very, very easy that anyone can go do them, even on your alts, but they're just long. They're just long, and it's something you can go and do once you've done, as you've done like the campaign with your main character. You can go back and do a lot of this on your alt, which is what I'm planning to do. If you go on the quest and you come down to where it starts saying infinite knowledge, you can see here, you have these Lore Runner quests. So Lore Runner of Azuna is complete the campaign, which is, what you'll probably be doing first. And then Sojourner of Azuna, which is go and do all those little yellow quests, all the little random quests that aren't main story quests. We've all put them off, we all don't do them. But if you go and do them on an alt, you'll level your alt and you'll get, the caches as you go through, which is really useful on any character. Doing that alone, you see doing all the yellow quests on their own, just gives you a lesser bronze cache. But when you do it as part of the, that helps tick off the achievement here, which gives you the infinite knowledge. So it's kind of a 2-parter. So, and that's for every zone. You've got Azuna, High Mountain, you've got Stormheim, Valshahara, and then Suramar. And then that's 5. And then we have one additional one down here called this one here, Insurrection. So you can see down here, we get an extra one here for doing additional stuff in Suramar. So that's kind of all of the quest ones. Now there are going to be others as you unlock the new quests and the new patch releases. And I think there's one to hide behind like doing tons and tons of world quests. But these are ones I want to just drop out that you can start working on straight away and start grinding through. Okay, next for raids, I believe you can get a total of 3. So if you're going into the raids, you have Trial of Valor, complete all of the bosses in Trial of Valor on any difficulty. So you can do this on the lowest one, and that's 1 infinite knowledge. Then you have another one for the Emerald Nightmare, complete all of the Emerald Nightmare bosses on any difficulty for another infinite knowledge, and then finally complete any raid on heroic for 1 infinite knowledge. You see there's like 5 in the selection, but you only need to do 1 for 1 infinite knowledge. That's 3 knowledge straight off there. There's loads of others in here, but we don't have any of those raids unlocked yet. We already have those available right now. So that's 3 knowledge for the raids. Okay, and then the final thing to look towards is unlimited power. You can get a total of 12 infinite knowledge for completing unlimited power achievements. Now, these are infinite power is your artifact weapon power. So you put them into the big skill tree to level up your artifact weapon. So you can see they come at 10,000 achievement, 50, 100, 250. I'm at rank 4 right now, and my next one is going to be like 500k, I think. Yeah, 500,000 infinite power is my next one. And this goes all the way up to, rank 12. So that's a lot of knowledge to collect as you progress up that tree. So what's the best way to farm this? What's the best way to farm unlimited power? Personally, I found it to be raids. So when it comes to collecting infinite power, there are lots of different sources. And most of the time, if you're doing like dungeons, open world content, opening the little caches, things like that, you're going to be getting 100, 1,000, couple of thousand. You're going to get little chunks at a time. And that doesn't scale so well at the end when you need 50,000 per upgrade. It's 50,000 per upgrade at the end of your tree. So the best way to do this is not to just collect all the little bits from the bosses and the little items and open the caches and scrap your gear. Like, do that, keep doing it. But there's a better way to farm this, and it's from these things here. The Fragmentoed Mementos of Epoch Challenges. These drop from Mythic Plus dungeons. At the end of a Mythic Plus dungeon, there'll be a chest at the end, and there'll be like 10 plus, depending on what level dungeon you're doing. And you can start collecting them there. And then bosses in raids will drop these as well. In a heroic raid, I did it last night, and I was getting like 15 per boss-ish. So like from doing a full raid of like Emerald Dream, you're getting more than 100 of these. So you're going to get a lot of these basically. And when you open this, you get almost, or in my case, over 50,000 of this a time. This scales with how much total you have. So depending on how much power you have, when you open this this item, you will get a chunk. And usually it's enough to buy another upgrade. It's normally like 50k plus. If you're just starting out, it might be a little bit lower. But as I'm opening them now, they're way over 50k. So these are by far, you complete one raid and you get all the drops along the way. And then you get a massive like 50k plus drop at the end from this. It feels like a massive way to level your weapon up, and a great way to get this achievement for unlimited power. So there might be other ways to do this. If you're really, really good at, Mythic Plus, and you can do like plus 20s or something with a pre-made, maybe that's much better. But for just starting out, you're already in a couple of days in, it feels like heroic raids are the way to go. Mythic raids if you can do them. But yeah, that's been my experience. And as I keep playing, as we try new things, I'll let you know if there's a better way. But yeah, that's it for this video. There's other ways to get these. There's a couple of other things like world quests. There's one that's defeat like 50 empowered monsters in heroic world tier. That's another way to get 1 infinite knowledge. But hopefully this helped just kind of like let you know the importance of collecting this early, and then all the different sources, so you can start working on it throughout Legion Remix. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to see more, do consider subscribing to the channel. But take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.